How are you?
I'm fine by God's grace. I believe you are good too.
I am also fine. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you very much.
Have you been there from day one?
Yes, I started with the commission.
Oh, you've been there. You've been head of legal for all this.
Yes.
I see. Well, we'll come to the experience so far. But first, let's start with a reminder. First of all, I hope you're well.
I'm very well.
Great. Let's start with a reminder of what the right to information is.
Okay.
For those who are wondering what the right to information is, how would you simplify it for them?
Okay, so the right to information is one of the rights guaranteed a person under the 1982 Constitution.
Okay.
So under Chapter 5 of the Constitution, specifically under Article 21, Clause 1F of the Constitution, as part of the general freedoms enjoyed by persons in Ghana, we have the freedom to have access to information. So that is the right to information. Now, the Constitution creates the right. Okay, but we needed a law that would help us know how we can take steps to enjoy that right. That is how come we had the Right to Information Act in 2019, passed in 2019. So the Right to Information Act, Act 989, is the law that spells out how we can enjoy this constitutional right of access to information. So in simple terms, when we talk about right to information, we are talking about that fundamental right of every human being to have access to information. As you know, information is everything. Okay. If we right from education to health, everything is information. And as a human being, it is your right to have access to the information you need to survive. And as a country, we have the right of access to information to aid in the governance of the country. So in simple terms, that is what we mean by the right to information.
Okay. So as the Act is Act 989, passed in 2019.
Yes.
Okay.
But so it took effect in 2020 because the law itself said it was to take effect from the next financial year. So it took effect from 2nd January 2020.
And now tell us about the commission. How long have you been in existence and what's your mandate?
Okay. So the commission was established pursuant to the Act in October 2020. But the board of the commission was sworn into office by the president at that time on 19th October 2020. So we are almost 5 years. We are almost 5 years. And when you go under Section 40 of the law, it is Section 40 that creates the Right to Information Commission. And Section 40 says that the commission's main mandate is to protect, to promote, to monitor, and to enforce this constitutional right of access to information.
Protect.
Yes. Promote, monitor, enforce.
Enforce. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The right of access to information. So that is the main mandate of the commission. Yes. We can spread it out and see how the commission so far has gone about protecting the right to information, promoting, monitoring and enforcing. Yes. So in terms of the promotion, the commission, right from the get-go, has embarked on a massive sensitization of the people. Because when you go under Section 45, yes, as part of the promotion mandate of the commission, we are enjoined to sensitize the public. So as we speak, from 2020, when we fully took off, in fact, from 2021, because the commission itself came into existence towards the end of 2020. So from 2021, when we fully took off, we have toured all the 16 regions of Ghana. And aside that, and everywhere we go, we hold a public forum to which we invite a cross section of the public. All public institutions, educational institutions, market women, and we engage them on the act. We do PowerPoint presentation on all the sections in the act.
Okay.
get people to understand, get people to ask all the questions they need to ask. Aside that, we've also been doing what we term as institutional sensitization,
Okay.
where we avail ourselves to go to various institutions to sensitize. And we
The
do
public ones?
public, some private.
Okay.
I remember in 2022, Blue Skies invited us.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't only concentrate on the public institutions,
Okay.
and it's also because there is a curious definition of public institution under the Act. When you go under,
okay.
yes, when you go under Section 84 of the Act, that is the interpretation section. It defines public institution as public institution includes private organization or institution that receives public resources or performs a public function.
All of those are included as public
institution. So you see, if you look at the definition very well, it is what we lawyers term as an inclusive definition. Okay, the framers of the law did not, but they proceeded on the assumption that when we talk about public institution, we know the public institutions already. They only sought to add to that knowledge private institutions or organizations that are measured by one of two yardsticks.
Okay.
Either receiving public resources or performing a public function.
Receiving public resources
or performing a public function.
So is that to suggest that if I immediately take a government contract, I come under the definition of public institution under the RTI?
You as an individual are not an institution.
Okay. No, I mean like if I own a private company and we do that.
Okay. So per the definition we have given, the definition we have given to what performing a public function is. When I say we, I'm talking about
receiving public resources.
Yes, okay. So we are saying that a public function is any activity that benefits the public.
Okay.
Very simple, but very expansive.
Okay.
Okay. Because at the end of the day, we are talking about accountability. We are talking about transparency.
Okay.
You look at the long title of the law. That is what the law seeks to achieve.
Okay.
Okay. So we've had instances where institutions, particularly some notable financial institutions, GCB Bank, for instance, Goyle, for instance, all saying they are not public institutions. And we are in court, so we have disagreed. Because,
oh, really?
Yeah, we have disagreed. But we have always maintained the position that this is about transparency. This is about accountability. So in as much as you have an interface with the public, we are not talking about ownership.
Okay.
We are, even if we are to talk about ownership, at least if government even holds or the state even holds one share, that translates into a resource.
Okay.
That has been an argument. Okay. And for which reason people ought to know what is going on. Okay. You render public service to the people. But the banking service, per our understanding, is a public service. You deal with the public. So if you take my deposits, if you take my money, why shouldn't I be able to come and ask? Okay, there are exemptions under the Act. It's not as if any information anybody comes to ask, you are automatically mandated
to give other information.
Yes.
Okay.
See, we have a wide array of exemptions under the Act. Okay. But then if it is information I'm asking which does not fall within the exemptions, then surely per the framers of the law, this is something you ought to give out to ensure that there's transparency, to ensure that you are being accountable to the people you serve. Okay, so that has been the contention. So back to your question, that is the reason why we have not only been sensitizing public institutions. Yes, we have also been sensitizing some private institutions. We avail ourselves to go to institutions to sensitize management and staff so that they can understand. That is part of the promotion activities. For the past 2 years to 3 years, we've been doing even church and mosque sensitization. Where we send our officers to various churches, various mosques, to market centers, to engage the people, to let the people understand what the Right to Information Act is about. Because it is basic. Okay, information is so basic. So we ought to let people understand that there's this law that seeks to help you enjoy your constitutional right of access to information. So that's for the promotion bit. When it comes to the monitoring, to monitor the right to information, we have a whole department set aside for that. Okay, their duty is to go out to sensitize and also to go to institutions to monitor compliance with the act, with obligations under the act. So as we speak, even to today, they should be going to some institutions to monitor compliance. And wherever they go, there are certain yardsticks they use to gauge compliance.
Okay.
Because the Act says that every public institution ought to have an information unit.
Okay.
The information unit ought to be headed by an information officer.
Okay.
So when they come, they look out for your information unit. It's an information unit where people can come and ask for information. So we expect to have some equipment suited for processing information, giving out information, photocopiers, scanners, printers. That is all that we look out for. Then do you have an information officer as mandated by the Act? Okay. The Act says that every public institution should have an information manual. So we also look out for your information manual. What does the manual do? According to the Act, see, if anybody walks into your institution and picks the information manual, by going through the manual, they will get to know the information you hold as a public institution. Okay. Where within the institution is the information unit? What is the contact number of the information officer? So that is what should be contained in the manual. What are the departments, the units, the responsibilities of each department? So by getting hold of your manual, people should know the kind of information they can get. So we also look out for your information manual and several other things. So we monitor compliance. Then when it comes to protecting and enforcing, this is where, after sensitizing people to understand their rights, we expect that they will go into public institutions to ask for information. So if it is within your district, you will then get understanding that you can go to the district assembly. Okay, let me use an example. There is this road just behind this building. Okay, it's been under construction for some time. We're here one day, we woke up one morning, we saw bulldozers grading. Okay, nobody is telling anybody anything. It's been 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, almost a year. They've come to grade, subjecting everybody to so much dust. Now we don't even see the machines on the okay. We let people understand, after we have educated them, that you can go to the assembly or you can go to the Ministry for Roads and Highways or feeder roads, okay, or urban roads. Ask them. You can ask for a copy of the contract for the construction of that road. It is your right. So once people have been educated, they are then empowered to take steps to ask for information about governance, about everything. Okay, and when they go and they do not get the desired results, the Act says that they should come to the commission, and the commission will help them get the information, provided it is not exempt. So that is how we protect the right to information. That's how we enforce the right to information. If there is a need for us to go to courts after our decisions have been given and not complied with, we go to court. So we have so many cases in court. So that is how the commission has been protecting and enforcing right to information.
But because you're doing active monitoring, do you find that most Ghanaians are taking advantage of this act? Since it started operation in 2020, have you seen an increase in the number of requests?
Exactly. If we look at the figures we started recording right from 2021, when the law was fairly new, compared to even last year, by the time we ended last year, you can see an increment. And that means that more and more people are getting to understand the law. For instance, in 2021, most of the complaints we received came from the media, particularly Fourth Estate. Yes, I later got to understand that they they undertook a project on LTIC. So they sent out as many requests for information as possible.
Okay.
So they kept coming. But as we speak, most of the complaints we've been receiving come from individuals.
Oh.
And that tells us that rather now, instead of the media, the media alone, CSOs alone, more and more people are getting to understand their right.
Okay.
And they are making use of the law. So the figures bear credence to that fact that more and more people are getting to appreciate the law. But of course, we have a lot of work to do. We need to spread our tentacles. We need to go so down to the people to let more and more people get to appreciate the fact that it is your constitutional right. In fact, it is part of your fundamental human rights to have access to information. So you can walk to any public institution and ask for information, and provided the information is not exempt, you have to be given the information.
Wow. Well, if you just join us, we have in studio Stephen Owusu Esquire, who is head of legal right to information commission. I wanted to ask one more question on that issue before I move to your 5th anniversary. It's usually suggested that most of our public institutions usually have issues giving out information. Has that conduct changed? Are they much more ready to open up and provide that information, or you usually have to intervene to get them to do that?
Relatively, I think that conduct is changing. I would not say it has changed. Okay. But I remember, let me use this as an example. I remember I went to an institution for sensitization. So when we started, we were just a skeletal staff. So I used to do the sensitization on behalf of the commission myself. Okay. I remember I went to an institution and engaged management and staff on the act. And in the course of my presentation, I explained that under the act, you do not, as a public institution, have the right to ask an applicant why they're asking for information.
Oh, okay.
Yes, an applicant doesn't have to give a reason.
Really?
Yes, that's what the law says.
You don't have to explain.
Yeah, you don't have to explain.
Okay.
And I remember there was a question from the deputy head of the institution. But lawyer, I don't understand. How can I be in my house and then somebody will come asking for information?
Yeah,
I remember I answered, you see, this is the problem we've had. To start with, it is not your house. It's a public office. See, the information you generate with the taxpayers' money. It's the taxpayers' money that pays you to undertake your daily activities. The information is generated out of the performance of your daily activities. Okay, so you see, that has been the mindset. Okay, but that is part of the commission's broader mandate to let public institutions understand that the information we generate it on behalf of the people.
Okay.
Because we are paid with the people's money.
Okay.
We are funded with the people's money. So that's that old mentality of keeping to information and thinking the information belongs to you. Okay, it ought to change. Now Parliament says that in fulfillment of the right of access to information enshrined under the Constitution, there is a law that has spelled out how people should enjoy that right. So that should sink. That should sink in that the information does not belong to us. And in fact, we are seeing improvement.
Okay.
We are seeing improvement, particularly the resistance we were encountering right from the beginning. More and more institutions are being very cooperative. Now, let me use Ghana Police as an example. No, you see, they have this interface with the public on a regular basis. So you would expect that we started having complaints from people who had been to Ghana Police, various police stations to ask for information, and they did not receive responses. They had done internal review with the IGP. They didn't receive any responses. So the initial administrative penalties we started slapping on institutions that had not lived up to their obligations under the Act, quite a number of them fell on Ghana Police.
Oh, they were...
yes. So we were there when they requested for a meeting.
Okay.
Yes, with the commission. So we engaged them, and then they got us to understand that it wasn't intentional.
Okay.
In fact, from the explanation, we also understood that on regular basis, on daily basis, they receive between 500 to 600 communications coming from all over.
Okay.
And all these go to a central pool.
Okay.
People have to sort through them. So the person who gets hold of an LTR request or even a letter from the commission, but does not attach that importance to it, may throw it somewhere, although it is addressed to the IGP. By the time it gets to the IGP's office, the matter has already been decided.
Okay.
So they came to explain to us that it wasn't intentional. But I use Ghana Police as an example because as we speak, they are very proactive in giving out information.
Oh, really?
Okay, I understand they have dedicated a team of officers to deal with LTR requests. Because they receive a lot of requests on regular basis. And it is only going to get worse as more and more people get to appreciate their right under the law. Okay. Yes. So comparatively, I think institutions are getting to understand. So institutions are becoming more and more receptive to the law and are more and more willing to give out information. Well, of course, it's a journey. So we are still on the journey, and our aim is to get to that point where institutions will willingly do what we term as proactive disclosure.
Okay.
What is proactive disclosure? Where institutions will by themselves put out as much information about themselves as possible. Just as what pertains in the advanced country. So that with the click of a button on your phone, you get so much information about any institution, so that you don't even need to go through the process of applying to the institution. And we've been getting the institutions to understand that saves you. See, the more proactive disclosure you do, the more information you put out on your websites, on your social media handles about yourself, you limit the volume of applications that may have come to you. Because if I can just pick my phone, Google Radio Gold, for instance, as a public institution, I'm using this as an example, and then get all the information I need. What are the programs of Radio Gold? Who are the presenters, the management? I can get everything on my phone. Why would I send
an LTR application?
Yes, an LTR application and end up paying a fee? So we've been getting institutions to understand. But as I said, it's a journey, and that is where we hope to get to as the law becomes more and more deepened.
And I'll come to how you're celebrating 5 years. But before that, what are the key challenges you identified over the last 5 years?
Okay. So for the commission as an institution, of course, we are a public institution, so you should know that funding.
Money number one.
money always been about when it comes to public institutions. We are not immune. We are not immune from that. Of course, there are so many public institutions competing for few resources. So yes, so that is our number one challenge. It has always been our number one challenge. Well, this is a new institution, a human rights institution with such a huge mandate. We need to get closer to the people. For instance, we need to spread our tentacles, establish branches in all the regions. Our aim is that we will get to a point in the future where we will have offices in all the districts. So that people wouldn't have to come even to the regional capital, to access the services of the commission. But this comes with money. So that is money is a huge challenge. As we speak, we have some regional offices. The logistical challenges. They need cars. The monitoring, the sensitization and the monitoring we do. We've been getting complaints from our office in Bolga. You know how sparsely spread out the villages. Yes. And if they have to go on a motorbike, it's not that safe. We need vehicles to aid in the work we do. Even at the head office in Accra, we need such logistics to aid in our work. So that has also been one of the challenges. And then from the institution's point, we find this capacity gap Okay. But of course, that is why the commission is there to sensitize institutions, to let them know what they have to do to put in place these structures. The capacity gap, you go to several of the institutions and you realize that they still do not have information officers. Okay. That is a huge gap because the information officer is more like the first port of call for people seeking information from the institution. Okay, so that has been a huge challenge. And then delays in processing applications. Okay, delays in processing applications.
Is that linked to the absence of information officers necessarily?
Yes, in some way. In some way. And then, but primarily it is also due to how we've kept our records.
Okay. Record keeping.
Very poor, Okay. Very poor. And if I tell you then the nature of applications some applicants make, okay. Somebody made an application to Scholarship Secretariat in 2021. Okay. Person wanted, information on allocations made to Scholarship Secretariat from 2012. Okay. Yes, 2012. And then the distributions. Okay. How much has gone to beneficiaries? Okay. Gender distribution. Okay. And all that. And this is information sought from 2012 all the way to 2021. Okay. And in institutions where record keeping is poor, you realize that it takes a long time for them to gather bits and pieces of information from. So record keeping is a huge challenge, and that accounts for the delays in processing applications. The bureaucracies, the red tapes, in almost all the institutions also account for some of these delays. So these are some of the challenges we've been encountering, but these challenges fall on the shoulders of the commission to educate public institutions, to assist them in knowing how to solve these challenges, particularly record keeping.
I see. Then there's the matter of your 5 years.
Yes.
How are you marking the 5 years?
Okay. Thank you very much for your question. So what we are doing now is part of the activities earmarked to mark our 5th anniversary. So we are doing media engagement. We are doing civic engagement. That is one leg of the planned activities. Okay, so we are grateful to Radio Gold for giving us this airtime to engage the public. At least this morning, we've been able to let people understand something about the Right to Information Act, something about the Right to Information Commission. So we set aside time to engage the public on various media stations. Then on 23rd October, we are doing stakeholder engagement.
23rd October?
Yes.
Stakeholder engagement.
Okay. We are expecting the president to be in attendance. And it's more of a stock taking for the 5 years we've been in existence. We've been in existence. So a lot of institutions will be coming. I believe Radio Gold will be there because almost all the media houses, if you haven't received your letter will come by the end of this week. Okay. So the stakeholder engagement is coming on 23rd October, and it is taking place at the Movenpick Ambassador Hotel. And then on 26th October, we will have a church service, a Thanksgiving church service. Also because the tenure of the current board ends. Okay. And so it's also a way of giving thanks to God for the first 5 years of the tenure of the first board and what they've been able to achieve for the commission. And then beyond the church service, we have some team bonding activities earmarked towards the end of the year. We are yet to agree on the dates, because the media and civic engagement is an ongoing exercise
Mm.
that we expect to run till the end
Of the year.
of the
Okay.
year.
Okay.
So these are the activities we have planned for the anniversary.
And I realize your theme is RTIC at 5, championing transparency and accountability through access to environmental information in a digital era.
Yes, a mouthful.
Yeah, but I wonder why they focus on environmental information.
Okay, it is topical to start with, and we chose that theme also to coincide with the theme for the United Nations International Day for Universal Access to Information. 28th September every year has been set aside by the United Nations
Okay.
As the International Day for Universal Access to Information.
Okay.
And this year's theme was on access to environmental information in a digital era. So yes, we decided to flow along with that theme, even as we observe our 5th year anniversary. And it's also because it is topical. So at the international level, that was the theme.
Yeah.
Okay. And
the conversations surrounding the environment.
The environment. I don't want to mention that term, but we know the term we are all battling here. And we feel that the environmental information affects every aspect of our life. Okay, right from health and safety, to the sustainable use of our resources, to climate change. Everything is about the environment. So when people are empowered to know the institutions they can go to ask for information, about the environment, that knowledge alone puts them in a position to expect accountability from duty bearers, and also to ensure transparency. Okay, so that is the thinking behind the theme for the anniversary.
I see.
In a digital era, also because now the proactive disclosure I made mention of. We expect institutions that hold information on the environment to proactively put out information on their digital platforms, social media handles and all that, so that it can be easily accessible. That is so from the angle of the public institution. That is what we expect to prevail upon them to do. Put out as much information. From the angle of the citizens, we get them to understand that if it is information about water bodies, if it is information about the Galamsey, finally I've mentioned it. If it's information about the Galamsey menace we've all been complaining about, these are the institutions you can go to
and get
and get information, so that you can put those institutions on their toes. You can put public officers put in charge, on their toes, and together we create the environment we all want for ourselves.
We have to bring this to a close. Two things. First, what role do you expect the public to play in making sure that your work is effective? That's the first one. What is the public's role in all this? Aside we taking advantage, and of course that's the same information most of the time.
Yes, well, in fact, that is the main role we expect from the public.
Okay. Take advantage
of the law.
Okay.
You look at the long title of the law. See, the long title, when you pick any law, the long title is that brief description of the purpose of the law. We lawyers call it the long title. So when you pick the Right to Information Act, the long title, this is an act to implement that constitutional right of access to information, to achieve transparency, accountability. Yes. So we expect the public to join in pushing the frontiers of accountability, frontiers of transparency in our public institutions. How do they do that? We are educating them to understand the law. Let them take steps, go to the public institutions, ask for information. That is how we put our duty bearers on their toes. That's how we get the accountability we expect from them. That is how we create the transparency. And when they do that, for us, our work is done. So that is what we expect from the public. And getting the right information from the right sources, they should be able to empower themselves with the information they have.
Okay.
Join in the civic dialogue, okay, aimed at pushing our democracy forward, pushing governance forward. That is what we all need. So that is what we expect from the public to do to help in implementing the Right to Information Act.
What are the plans for the future?
We have a lot. In fact, last 2 years, we launched a 5-year strategic plan as a commission.
Okay.
And we said that within the next 5 years, that was from 2023 to 2028.
Okay.
We said that it was part of the commission's plan to spread to at least 5 more regions. Okay, aside Ashanti region where we are already, aside Bono where we are already, and aside Upper East, we say we're going to spread to 5 more regions as we speak. But for financial constraints, we should be ready to enter 5 regions. Let me use this platform to thank Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, the Director General of Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, who has been very kind to us to give us spaces in their properties in 4 regions.
Okay.
Yes, so Takoradi is in fact second D. Okay, for Western. They have given us a property, but we need to work on all these properties. These are old properties we need to work on.
GBC has given you property in
Yes,
second.
and then yes, another property in Koforidia.
Okay.
Say another property in Ho.
Okay.
And another property in Tamale.
Oh.
Okay. So, but for the lack of money to work on these offices, this strategic objective
would have been achieved by
would have been achieved within the shortest time. But we as we speak, Cape Coast is ready. But for Cape Coast, it wasn't from GBC. In fact, GBC availed as a space in Cape Coast, but it wasn't big enough. So we rather decided to rent from Ghana Post. Okay. We've already worked on that office, and we are waiting for some clearance from the finance minister so that we can recruit and begin operations in Cape Coast. Okay, so for the next 5 years, that was one of the things we said we were going to do. It was also part of our plan within the next 5 years to improve capacity. Okay. Yes, capacity of the commission, human resource capacity and capabilities. Okay. So we expect to do that, and also to adopt digital platforms or ICT tools in pushing the frontiers of access to information. So that's why I say we have a lot. If I need to go, no, we have a lot.
I can understand. Now, let me conclude then by asking you, for those who are interested, which channels can they reach you on?
Okay, so you can reach us on all our social media handles. Okay. So on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, you only need to type RTIC Ghana. Okay. RTIC Ghana. Okay. Ghana Info, and all in small letter. That is on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. And our LinkedIn address is Right to Information Commission. That's spell it together. All
Right to Information Commission. Okay.
You get us on LinkedIn. And our email, if you want to send us an email, we have ITI Commission at rtic.gov.gh. Okay. That's
RTI
Commission at rtic.gov.gh. That's our email. And then you can also visit us on our website at www.rtic.gov.gh. And you get to follow a lot on what the commission has been doing. Our decisions and all that, you find them on our website. You can even get a PDF version of the RTI Act to download on our website.
Your message to the public before we go?
My message to the public. Right to information is your constitutional right. And the Right to Information Commission has come to stay to assist you in getting the information you need to manage your life, the information you need to keep our leaders accountable, the information you need to effectively take part in the governance dialogue and to assist in pushing this country forward. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, that is Stephen Owusu, Esquire, is head legal RTI Commission, Right to Information Commission. They are celebrating 5 years of existence. And of course, from what he told me, October 19th will be exactly 5 years since they started operation. And so please do take advantage. They say what you can do for them is take advantage of the law, seek information on anything happening around you, and if they fail to give you the information, come to them and report. They will deal with it for you. That's what you can do for them to make sure they are efficient at implementing their mandate. Well, we'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Gold Morning Conversation. I am Senna Nombo from the rest of the